Hello. Hello, it's Becky speaking from Pushkar in India, and it is hot. I couldn't tell you how hot it is. When I was trying to go to bed last night, it was 33 degrees, and that was at night time. So now it's 39. It's warm. It's warm. Today's the 16th of April, and on the 14th of April, the Prime Minister of India extended the lockdown until, I believe, the 3rd of May. So that is our update there with India. We're still doing the same things here. We're cooking, we're being crafty, exercising. I've had some hair wraps put into my hair by Paige and Fiona. So this one's Fiona's and this one's Paige's. In this video, my friend Angie from back at home and my friend Brendan from Australia will be sharing their experiences in this time, how it affected them and how they're coping by being in isolation and lockdowns where they are. So I hope you guys enjoy what it is that they have to say.
This is a video to try and give you a bit of an idea of how things are going down in Australia over the last couple of weeks with the COVID crisis going on. As you can see, I brought the right mug to the occasion, and thankfully there's a little bit of sun out, so yeah, not too bad going. I guess so far with what's come, it was a slow burn, but yeah, during February we didn't really have much of an idea about it, but then in March it got a lot realer and the cases started to blow up. People got, notices of don't go to this cafe or this bar, and then it kind of went from there to workplaces starting to shut down, and a lot of events starting to be cancelled, to a full-blown government lockdown in probably about 2 weeks.
Hi, I'm Angela, one of Becky's pals. I was travelling around South America for 3 months. At the beginning of January is when I started, which I guess is also the major peak time in China, I think, of the coronavirus. I wasn't really following the coronavirus as such, but I was very much aware of it. It wasn't really on my radar. Perhaps it should have been. I was kind of just really busy and preoccupied with having fun in South America, as you would. It then gradually got more and more real for us, I guess, as travellers, and then worldwide in general because it was spreading outside of China. But then it came very much to the forefront of my life, like it did with everyone, especially in Europe, I think. At the beginning of March, I was in Argentina at the time. Most people were quite chilled. Some people were going home, booking flights straight away so that they were safe at home because they thought it'd be best to leave rather than the uncertainty in a foreign country, which I completely understand. I was very chilled actually about it and thought I could just ride it out. I thought I could find some voluntary work or just stay in an Airbnb with some of the people I met out there at the time. Then one morning it all changed and the atmosphere was very different, and I had to make an instinctive decision whether I book a flight home and was safe in my home environment, my home country, where I knew the infrastructure, I knew I'd be treated the same as anyone else because I was a native, or ride it out. So I decided, it was a really gutting decision, but I decided it would be best to come home. I didn't want to ruin my travelling experience, being stuck in one place the whole time with so much uncertainty looming over that, as well paying to be there the whole time. With 90% of travellers gone home as well, it wouldn't be the optimum experience. I would be in lockdown like everywhere else in the world, so it just wouldn't be fun, and I didn't want to ruin that.
That was about 2 weeks ago. So Melbourne and most of Victoria decided to go into complete lockdown then. So when it all hit, I guess a lot of my friends who were working in the arts and photography, that hit them a lot earlier because events started to finish up and cancel. They all had to pretty quickly get on the dole, just trying to tie up things, either move home or find a temporary location or just settle in for the long haul. When it comes to my family, they're doing okay. My dad, he's now working from home, which I'm really grateful for. He's at really high risk. And my mum's business is pretty much finished up. She can't really teach people singing anymore because of this, and not many people are interested to learn to sing at this time. And my sister's, she's studying. She's just staying at home, doing a lot of assessments at home and not really moving about much either. I guess for me, the main things that has really impacted are just social events are pretty much grounded to a halt. That's been the case for the last couple of weeks, to be honest. In terms of how much Australia is doing with this at the moment, we are pretty fortunate that our government put in a lockdown just at the right time, before the cases got out of hand and our hospital system couldn't really handle it. They've also been very generous in providing a ton of social services and support to a lot of people who lost their jobs since March, which has been, upwards of about 1 million to more people. They've been trying to keep construction work going along, which has kept a lot of people busy, and it seems to not be spreading, even though that is still going on. Thankfully, they've also brought in, the same as I think a lot of other countries have, re-enlisted a lot of health workers to come and fight this virus.
I've been keeping busy quite well so far, actually. I've just done over 2 weeks here now. I think everyone has. By learning Spanish, very basically to start off, because I actually don't really know Spanish. I didn't have much exposure to it until Argentina, but not much really. So I've been doing that on a daily basis. I have enrolled on an online TEFL course where I can learn how to teach English as a foreign language, which I will be then using as soon as I've passed, so I can teach online to other people. And when I go travelling abroad, that'd be pretty amazing. I have been going on walks, making the most of the beautiful weather that we've had and the fields nearby, as well as getting my daily exercise, doing fitness, YouTube things with my sister, dance lessons. I have been scrapbooking, reading, doing lots of research.
I guess it's mostly just been pretty much a case of staying at home and only going out for necessities like almond croissants, food, and maybe the odd coffee. My work has been really fortunate in being able to provide everyone with the ability to set up from home and work from home. Because I work in architecture and design, a lot of our work is pretty flexible when it comes to that, and we're able to decentralize and all be able to work remotely. That doesn't mean it's made it any easier with work. Being able to try and communicate with large project teams across different disciplines has been just as difficult going remote. Mostly because the amount of times that you don't realise, but you start to realise because it's all through Skype or Zoom, the number of people you talk to in one day, especially on big projects like train stations or bridges, is insane. When you have to do it all from your living room, you start to realise that it takes a lot of people to get something done. It's also made things kind of different with daily life. Me and my housemate now are kind of juggling between who gets to use the kitchen and who uses the lounge room. He's a yoga teacher and works in insurance, so he's got his routines down and I've got mine. And sometimes we try and cook, or sometimes we watch movies together. Yeah, it's been real fortunate actually to have another person around during this time. I can imagine being on my own would be, I guess, nice to be able to manage the hygiene and germ control, but very isolating when it comes to being around other people. That said though, I've been definitely settled into a huge amount of laziness. I'm comfortably a introvert myself, but this one has just kind of made it a lot easier to not need to go out anymore and settle into the couch and catch up on all of those TV shows and movies that people have been recommending me for years, but I've never actually bothered to listen to until now. Yeah, just Zooming family and Skype calling with friends, trying to settle into some kind of normalcy at home while all of this craziness goes on around the world. And the anxiety comes in waves, depending on what day it is and how much news I try and keep up with, because in some countries it's definitely looking pretty dire, and there's a lot of people who are very unlucky and looking at quite sad situations. And it brings home a lot of realizations, I guess, of being quite fortunate and bringing back to the realities of just being lucky enough to have good health and a house to live in.
I think this is now actually an optimum time for people to get productive and really focus on what they've been putting off for so long, because they've got the opportunity to be at home with family, with those who are important to them. You can't avoid what's in your home, so you're doing little jobs that you've perhaps put off for ages. I think the main thing from this that I've gathered anyway, although it's awful and traumatic, at least it's the whole world going through this. We're all in this together, and we're all supporting each other, making efforts and strides to nip this in the bud and really conquer this virus that's affecting, everyone, because we're all impacted in one way or another on different levels. And it's bringing us back to our roots, what's important. People are going outside walking who wouldn't normally walk, and it's nice to see people spending time with their families, working from home if they can, modernising the workforce perhaps. Just being mindful and conscious of what matters, and that we're all in it together, and with that, mental health has become a paramount topic of discussion, which is really nice because it's been rising in interest in the media. People have been giving it more attention, but now people are really focusing on it because it's important, and we need social interaction to remain in high spirits, and obviously this is taking it away from us. So it's good that people are prioritising video calls and staying in tune with how their friends are feeling, getting those memes out so that people can have a little chuckle, and keeping high spirits over simple things and uniting everyone together. So I hope we can take that forward and continue it once this has blown over, because that's what is humane. That's what's nice about people, really, and we forget about that, or you take it for granted or lose sight of it. So I think moving on from it, there's definitely takeaways from this, and that the whole world is striving to prevent this causing further damage to human lives. But there's so much we can take from it. The environment as well, although a lot of it's fake news, pollution levels have definitely gone down, and there's so much more that can be done. I think it's a bit of a wake-up call on lots of different scales. I just hope that we don't just forget about it. This is important, and it's making a big difference to all our lives right now. The world is on pause, and we need to take action after it's happened, as well as in the moment right now, while it's all going a bit topsy-turvy. It doesn't just end there. We're going to have to continue and rebuild after it's died down, and move forward sustainably, and think about what we're doing to the world, to ourselves, and think of each other as a community. That would be nice.
Couldn't agree more with what Angie just had to finish on there. That will be it for this video, just because it did end up being quite long. I hope you enjoyed it and have managed to take something away from the video. I find it quite interesting and comforting to know what's going on around the world, so hopefully you do too and you enjoyed. I will be making more of these kind of videos. I've been sent lots of footage by different friends, so I'll be cracking on getting busy with that. But until then, stay safe. I hope you're all doing well, and see you guys soon. And still wash your hands. Bye. Also, can I just add, it's 39 degrees. You can probably see the sweat on my face. It's a hot one. I've made my bed and I gotta lie in the sweaty bed. Nice.